Someone once said that 9 out of 10 people like chocolate, and the 10th person is lying. Which may be why worldwide production has reached a staggering 3 million tons. But turning these fleshy fruits into melt-in-the-mouth treats is an epic endeavour. So, how do they do it? In his North London shop, Paul Young is preparing a new batch of chocolate for his award-winning truffles.
Just by giving someone the best piece of chocolate they've ever tasted, make their day. I mean, you can ruin it as well if they taste it, don't like it. But people come into the shop, they taste a piece of nice chocolate, they go away having tried a truffle in the shop, and they leave the shop with a big smile on their face. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it.
Since its discovery in Central America over 3,000 years ago, the whole world has developed a taste for chocolate. But not all chocolate tastes the same. Like coffee, tea and wine, soil, climate and processing all affect the final flavour.
If someone comes into my shop never having tried anything other than a blended supermarket chocolate, brilliant. We've got 25 others to show them. We start them with a really mild, delicate chocolate, and then they'll come back and have the more exotic, and then a woody, and an earthy, and a spicy.
The source of all this chocolate lies in the tropics. Theobroma cacao, the cocoa tree, only grows in these hot, humid latitudes, within 1,000 kilometres of the equator. Here in the Malaysian cocoa boards plantation, near the town of Temelo, they harvest over 100 hectares of cocoa trees every year. But first, they have to grow the trees. The tiny seeds are planted in bags filled with the coarse, damp soil they need to grow. After a few days, the seeds begin to sprout. And after 4 weeks, they've shot up to 30 centimetres. But it still takes 3 years for these seedlings to grow into trees and start bearing fruit. After waiting that long, the last thing you want is for some pesky insect to come along and nibble into your profit margin. So here they protect each seed in a plastic sleeve. Creepy crawlies aren't the only problem for the cocoa farmers. Getting the fruit off the tree is a challenge. They don't simply fall from the trees. They have to be cut off, one by one. With temperatures in the high 30s, this is hot, hard work, and each of these workers will harvest 1,500 cocoa pods a day. Once the workers have piled up the pods, they're hauled off for processing on another part of the plantation. Extracting the seeds is also done by hand. The seeds inside were once used as currency. 1 would buy a tomato, 4 a pumpkin, and if you really wanted to flash your cash, 100 would get you a turkey. As the local wildlife will tell you, the slippery membrane may taste sweet, but the seeds inside are hard and extremely bitter. Turning them into a tasty treat means leaving them to ferment in vats for 6 days. This breaks down the bitterness and starts to release the essential chocolate flavours. After just the right amount of fermentation, they're laid out in the sun, slowly drying out the unwanted skin and leaving behind raw, dark cocoa beans, ready to be turned into chocolate. But that means a journey to the grinding factory. Tanjung Pelepus, one of the busiest and fastest growing ports in all of Asia. Ships from all over the world dock here. And in the heart of the port is JB Cocoa. Every year they take delivery of 65,000 tonnes of cocoa beans from Malaysia, Indonesia and Africa. They arrive in 1 million of these 65-kilo sacks, which are graded and stacked in this vast warehouse. But these beans still don't taste much like chocolate. First, they have to be cleaned to get rid of any impurities and the useless outer shell removed using a process called winnowing. The part of the bean that's left is called the nib. To bring out the chocolatey flavour, these nibs are roasted for half an hour. This develops the aroma, but transforming them into something more appetising means a go in the grinder. Grinding releases the fat inside, and out comes a river of molten cocoa, known as cocoa liquor. To make fine chocolate, this liquor will have to be ground several more times and then mixed with sugar and emulsifiers to produce a solid block of dark chocolate. But of course, not everyone likes dark chocolate. So how do they turn this rich liquor into milk and white chocolate? The solution? Squeeze the living daylights out of it. In this press, the largest of its type in the world, huge hydraulic rams compress the liquor. Out pours cocoa butter. Mixing this with the cocoa liquor, milk and sugar creates milk chocolate, and leaving out the liquor gives you white chocolate. What's left behind are slabs of dry cocoa solids, used in anything from chocolate drinks to cakes. Back in North London, Paul's award-winning confections are made with rich, dark chocolate. Part of chocolate's appeal is that it can be combined with so many other flavours.
We're coming into spring, so we've had a lot of florals like lavender, jasmine, lots of teas flavours, less of the wintry, spicy, warming flavours. And into summer, lots of Japanese, Asian, citrusy flavours.
And if you're feeling really brave, how about Marmite flavour? The current batch is a more appealing sounding passion fruit and Maya honey truffle.
There we go. That's full. It just needs to rest now for about 12 hours to set.
The final covering of chocolate goes on, and once it's set, it's time to see if all that effort has paid off.
Good. Silky smooth, thin shell, balance of flavour.